Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you as always for joining me for some time in the Word. Our call out today goes to Karan Taylor from Sterling, Virginia, who recently signed up for video access on our website. Thank you so much, brother, for supporting our ministry. We can't do this without guys like you at R6. So today, are you feeling the pressure in our culture to conform to practices when they contradict with the gospel of grace? We're going to be in Galatians chapter 5. I'm reading verses 2 through 3. It states, "Look, I, Paul, say to you that if you accept circumcision, Christ will be of no advantage to you. I testify again to every man who accepts circumcision that he is obligated to keep the whole law." So we've discovered throughout Galatians that circumcision was the big issue in these churches. Jewish teachers were putting pressure on non-Jewish new male converts to fit in with the new Christian culture by being circumcised. And in the following 10 verses, Paul's going to be very direct about addressing this matter among believing men. And what I find so interesting about this issue is that new converts, even some well-known believers that Paul was very acquainted with, are falling for this whole thing. They are succumbing to the pressure to conform because they're convinced there's no harm in it, and it might actually enhance their relationship with God. And you know what this is? This is evidence that peer pressure that we faced, even as a young teen, is going to follow us into adulthood. That's because peer pressure never goes away. You don't outgrow it, and you're going to experience it everywhere, including in the church. And sometimes this peer pressure can be good, helping us to avoid sinful actions. So that part is good. On the other hand, sometimes it can be bad, leading us toward feelings and beliefs and actions that are abominable in our relationship with God. Now, the latter is what Paul is concerned about right here. And we often succumb to social pressure because we give too much credence to the people who espouse these ideas. So, for example, consider some of the comments that were made by Whoopi Goldberg just the other day on The View. She used one of the 10 commandments to justify abortion. Yes, she did. You can go back and view it if you want. She used one of the 10 commandments to justify abortion. Now, obviously, you and I believe her statement is blasphemous, is what it is. But don't forget, some people give this woman a lot of credence. So much so that they're going to follow her right off a cliff into blasphemy. And that is exactly what Paul is concerned about here. That new converts are going to follow these false teachers right off a cliff into something that's blasphemous. But did you know that there's a way to test when a false teaching or a false teacher is pressuring us? Yes, there is. The test is quite simple. Paul presents it in our text today. In verse 3, he tells us exactly how to put it to the test. It's simply this: play the principle out practically. Just play it out. Here's what Paul says in verse 3. I testify again to every man who accepts circumcision that he is obligated to keep the whole law. So all you need to do when you're feeling pressured is to actually play the concept all the way out. If it plays out and doesn't align with the intended outcomes of the gospel, then it's not the gospel. And if it isn't the gospel, then don't listen to it. Don't be pressured to do it. And definitely don't share it with others. I love you guys. I pray this has blessed you. If it has, share it with someone else. See what I did there? And I'll see you right back here again next time.